Microphone. Welcome to Q&A with our chairman, Mr. Swann. What we'll try and do is we'll try and cram in as many questions as we can over the next hour or so. So obviously, if you want to ask a question, whatever, just put your hand up. I know it feels a bit like we're still at school, but it's probably the easiest way of going around it. I don't think the gentleman to my left really needs any introduction at all, really. Chairman, Mr. Swann. We'd like to go first. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All the years, well, for the last 15 years, we've had Steve Wharton, and he did a fantastic job for the club. Do you see yourself as a person who's going to follow in his vein? And if so, is there anything that you're going to change slightly from his style, or are you going to be very similar?
To be honest, I've not really met Steve a lot of time. Everybody thinks I've sort of been to the pub, had a meal, had a beer with him. I've not really. I've sort of spoken to him perhaps once, emailed a few times, but very aware of what Steve has done here. You know, let's not take it away. You know, the last 10 years have been pretty good. It's only the last 3 probably not helped by on the pitch and off the pitch. There's lots of things that perhaps haven't been right, but you know, in the end, I come with a fresh look. I'm still learning. My time at Gainsborough, hopefully I've used, and I'm looking forward to sort of stamping my own sort of ideas on the club. I'm an entertainer. That's what, I've got a club in Blackpool. I've had one in Gainsborough. Most people know the Sands. It's all about entertainment in the end. Yes, we would love to do that every week, but we can't. But certainly at home, I'd like the team to sort of excite the fans, and if we can do that at home, we'll win more than we lose. When we go away, it's a little bit different. We have to be a little bit more boring, but I think Brian's developing a good squad here. I seem to get on with him. He's very similar, I don't know if he'll enjoy this or not, to Brian Little in the fact of the way he coaches. He's very mindful of the players and he likes to get the best out of them. So my relationship, hopefully, with him will be a little bit different to maybe the relationship he would have had with Steve, because I do like to know what's going on. I do like to know what formation he's playing, why he's doing it, why he wants a player, why he doesn't want a player. So I do get sort of under his collar a little bit, but I think that's important. If we're going to spend the money as a club, I think we need to know exactly why that money is going in a certain place. I'm here for the long term, not for the short term. I like to think that, you know, I'll stand here and give you 10 years of my life, even when the things aren't quite working. I still think we can sort of move forward. So, yeah, I suppose in the end, I'm not going to be like Steve, but I would like to emulate some of the success he has had.
And another question. When you came to the club and you saw the books and the financial side of things, were you shocked with anything, or did you think that, and did you find anything, oh, blooming heck, or do you think that the club's in a good position now you're taking over?
Well, as everybody knows, it happened pretty quickly, me being involved with the club. In fact, it was probably a matter of about 72 hours from actually getting the call from Keith Wagstaff, and an email saying would I be interested in coming to the club. So I didn't really get a chance to look at the books there, but he did say it wasn't too bad, and actually when I've looked at the books and looked at the potential and where we're going, the club's been looked after. Everybody talks about various loans, etc., but that isn't a massive issue. The main thing is, can we make the club sustainable in the future? And we can, and we've started well this year by maintaining the stranglehold over the wages, by still bringing in some good quality players, and I think actually Brian's done very well to get them in for really what our budget is. So we haven't really gone over the top with that yet. I say yet.
Have we got rid of all the high earners then? They all gone?
What do you class as high earners? I mean, it's difficult, isn't it?
Well,
I mean,
Duffy and that.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest. I know you're keen. Calm down. It is difficult because Duffy wasn't really one of the high earners. You know,
we seem to want to get rid of him quick. Didn't we?
I don't think it was. It wasn't really the club. The club would have kept him.
Yeah.
I think he was really, really keen to move and play at a higher level. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it is difficult when a player's in that mood to actually change it, because they end up camping outside your door, saying, "Is there anything happening today? Is there anything happening today?" And you know they don't really want to be here. So you have to accommodate them the best you can.
Yeah.
But high earner wise, yeah, I think we've done pretty well. I think yes, you have to. The spine of your side has to be the most expensive part of your side. You know, you need to pay for your strikers, your central midfield. As you see, we've probably got the 2 best central midfielders in the division, and your backs. You know, your full backs and your centre backs. Well, you know, I think we've done pretty well.
That's a full team.
Yeah, it's done. You know,
Yeah.
pretty well. I think we've managed to do that. You know, that yes, we would love to get them all a bit cheaper, but it's what they're worth at the time you're signing them, and how desperate you are for them.
Yeah.
Have you got a wage ceiling then?
Yes, we have. 55%.
I'm thinking if we've got any weakness, it's going to be a forward, and they're not cheap.
No one's cheap.
Do you mean a wage ceiling in terms of a single player, maximum for a player, or?
Yes. If the right player came along and he thought that.
I know what route we're going down now.
But it went above what you really budgeted for, would that be a no-no?
No, not at all. I think overall, if we could afford someone in the budget and it meant spending a little bit extra, then yes, we would go for that player.
I'm not talking about the transfer, I'm about the actual wage.
No, I'm talking about the wage as well.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the transfer or wage or whatever it was, if it was the right player and we felt we could afford it, or we could afford to invest to bring the player here, then that's what we would do.
Just leading off on that, obviously the total wage bill can't be above 55%, is it?
Yeah.
Are there any ways going forward you're looking at increasing matchday revenue for the club and maybe off matchday revenue as well, leading forward, while still making it affordable for fans to try and keep our attendance as high? Have you got any innovative approaches towards that?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, all the approaches have probably been done before. There's only so many raffles you can do and meetings you can do and players' evenings, but yeah, we need to do that. I think what we need to do is turn the stadium into a venue. So basically, it's working 7 days a week, making the most of the Sundays. You know, we need to be serving Sunday lunches. We need kids down here playing, and it's very difficult because being one of the original clubs that sort of moved out of town, I mean, was it 1989, 88 when we were here? You know, we probably have got a tired stadium. Well, I know we have. We've got a tired stadium, and we need to do something about it. Now, do we plough money into this one, or do we concentrate on perhaps moving into a new one? Because in the end, I think we need to decide which one we're going to do so that we can then focus on the future. It's very difficult for us saying, yeah, we'll do all this here, but if you haven't got the facilities and you haven't got the people and the size, you know, we've only got limited. We can't put something on for 400 people, 500, 600 people. It's not that easy. We can for the smaller events. We could do a darts night, we could do a whatever it is, an events night we can do, but we haven't got the size of rooms to actually say, right, we can have 600 and we can make ourselves a few thousand. And we have to do that. As we grow, we have to develop some sort of format as to whether we stay here or whether we go and we build something and learn from what we've got here. So we turn around and we go, right, okay, we know we need a 600 capacity conference centre come restaurant. We definitely need that. We need a bigger iron bar. We need bigger bars. We need better bars. Away support, we need to make more out of them day in, day out. So we need more food over there and more space in the bar. It's not that easy just to go, we'll just expand. And that's the problem we've got here. So I think initially it's find where we stand with regards to being here, or whether there's an option to move elsewhere. And I think that's got to be my priority over the next few months, is to find out, you know, if that's a possibility.
So you are anticipating moving away maybe then?
Possibly, and I think that has to be on the agenda. And I think, you know, yes, it would be lovely to plough. I mean, if you imagine trying to increase even if we were to increase to 12.5, maybe 14,000 here, and we got up to the championship, and the away support filled up the end, whatever it was, we're still going to spend 3, 4, 5 million on doing that. We're still going to spend 3, 4 or 5 million on doing that. So it is really what is the best for the club. you know, we're not talking about if we moving miles away. It's not that.
I mean, the only thing you say that as we are at the moment, this club belongs to us at the moment, doesn't it? Right. If it did take off next door, and this would then increase in the revenue for it to be worth then, where would you move to? Would we still keep as a financial system, or would we go into deficit?
Right.
By doing it?
Yeah. We won't go into debt by moving. We won't move if that's the case. Usually the prognosis when you first move into a new stadium is pretty good. There's almost an uptake of 60% in revenue for the first early years, and there's an upturn in the revenue of nearly 60% when clubs move to new stadiums. There's a general excitement and everything. So, you know, that you look at and you see, right, if we move, this is what we have to do. There is no way that we're going to go into debt to finance a move. If we move, and this is what I've got to try and negotiate with the council and everybody else, is like, when we move, we need the finance in place. And the finance is there so that it doesn't affect, I don't want it to affect anything else, because I want to, my investment, I want to go towards playing staff, the wages, to strengthen the team on the pitch and be successful on the pitch. I don't want to be banging in and throwing money away on this stadium at this particular moment in time.
No, I appreciate that. And you say when we go to a number of away games, you'll see them there. You say going back to your 7 day week system,
Yeah.
because underneath the stands they've got a lot of shops and whatever, which
Yeah.
is going to bring revenue in about 6 days a week, if not 7. Whereas we say here, you only bring it in 1 day a week, and you say apart from your restaurant likewise, it's going to bring it in there.
The Astro service, your 3G service, can be very, very useful. Not only does it bring in a huge amount of revenue, you know, maybe £200,000 a year in profit, but you're bringing people to the stadium, and if you're bringing them, what you've got to do is ensure that when they're here, that they eat and they drink.
Oh, correct.
And that's what they do.
Sure.
And if you build a new stadium, you're hopefully going to bring in partners, whether that be a retail outlet, whether that be a hotel, whether that be shops, whatever it is. Hopefully, all that brought in together will finance the package. There's no, like I say, there's no way that we're going to go into debt in any particular way to finance the new stadium.
What's the one down in London, whereas that's a hotel there as well to go with it.
There's a few stadiums
There's-
and hotels now.
There's a few now, yeah.
MK Dons are one, Reading have got one.
I was down there this last season, I forget where it is now, because you've got hotels there, you've got all the way around, you've got flats and whatever all the way around.
Leighton Orient have got flats at those stadiums.
Yeah, you're having to work with partners now, and that's the most important thing. There's only so much the FA can do for you, so you have to work with partners. But yes, if we did move, it would be a sensible move, and there'd be a great consultation period between the club and the fans anyway, to make sure that we did it right. So everything that we actually want, we'll get when we move, if we move.
So what would you do in the meantime?
Again, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Really, you want to look after your finances, and you want to improve it where we can. I mean, we started, I've talked to David already about improving the toilet facilities and trying to improve the canteen facilities. I mean, we could spend 100, 200,000 on them, and it would improve them. So that funding's got to be found somewhere without taking it out of the club. So it's really is now about identifying the areas that we think we need to improve, which we've already been around the stadium and had a look at those. And then prioritising those and saying, right, okay, you know, when are we going to do this? Can we afford this? If we can't, actually letting you guys know that we can't, because it's going to impact on the field, which is the key part now, is to get out of this division and get into League One. Finances then are a bit more, and we can invest a little bit more into the facilities here.
Is it for World League grants for moving stadiums and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots we can tap into. And it is a long process. It can take months and months and months, and we can't start anything, we can't do this, but we are at early stages. Actually here, for grants actually on our site now, we are limited to how much we could actually get, and we have to do it in a certain way. You could probably enlighten them a little bit on that.
Yeah, I mean there's stadium improvement grants, but it's not for commercial aspects. So say if we wanted to put a row of shops at the back of the terrace to take advantage of the M&S development, we wouldn't be able to get funding on that. It's only on improving facilities.